Hi, my name is Donna, and I'm a librarian at the Wadsworth Public Library. Today, I am going to show you a great free resource that you can use to find fiction that you would like to read. Now, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the library's website at wadsworthlibrary.com. So I've already done that, and you'll see the home screen. The next thing you're going to do is click on Resources, and then Next, Research Resources. And at this point you see a list of resources, or they're sometimes called databases, that you can use. And the one that we're interested in is NoveList. So when we click on that, you're going to get a screen that will look like this. It's going to ask you to put in your library card number. So you're going to do that, and then you're going to submit it, and then you're going to be going to the NoveList home screen. Now, today I am going to show you, I'm going to concentrate just on 4 ways that you can use NoveList to find your next great read. And just so you know, this resource is for both adult books and children's books, and also teen books. So we're going to explore genres. We're going to find read-alikes. We're going to discover new fiction based upon criteria that we choose. And then we're also going to find books for different reading levels for children. So the first thing that I want to do is to talk about genres. So as we scroll down, we can see that we can browse genres for adults, for teens, for ages 9 to 12, and for ages 0 to 8. So I could pick any of those. But right now I'm just going to pick for adults. And we see then some new things have come in. Then we see different genres that are listed. So we have crime and suspense, fantasy, historical fiction, or gothic fiction, etc. So I think that I'm going to look at historical fiction. So I'm going to explore that. I'm going to click right there on Explore Historical Fiction. And you can see that when we do this, it categorizes things, forthcoming historical fiction, and then by different periods, like the medieval period, the Victorian era, early America. So if you see one of those, it looks good. Like, I enjoy historical fiction a lot, and I do enjoy reading about the Second World War. So I think that what I'll do is click on View All. And at this point, I'm going to see there are, if you see right here, 1,219 books that are listed. So that's a lot. And you can always refine your list. And one way to do that is by publication date. So over here on this left-hand side, we can always move this over. Go up here. Sometimes I can move this over, and then I could find things that are just published from 2002 to 2020. So that's a great way to refine your results in terms of finding things that are more recently published. You can also refine results with some of the things here on the left-hand side. And I'm just going to look right now at time period. So here during the Second World War, I can also refine my time period just a little bit more if I would choose to do that. Whenever you refine your results over here on the left-hand side, what you're going to want to do is always click here on Update Results. Okay, and there's our new list. Now we have 871 books. Not quite. So go through these. You're going to be seeing the cover of the book, which is always nice to see, I think, and then the title, the author, 1 or 2, sometimes more sentences about the book, what it's about, and also give you some information on the reading level, and some other things here that I'm going to talk about in just 1 minute. So let's say that I'm interested in this book. The Tattooist of Auschwitz. And I want to remember that book. I don't have to write it down. I can just click here on this little folder with a plus sign in it. And every title that I find during my session is going to go up here into this folder. So then I can just look at my folder and find all the titles that I was interested in. Now, as we're going through this list, you will see that underneath these, we have a lot of information. We have title read-alikes, we have author read-alikes. So if I find a book that I really liked a lot, for instance, I did read Lilac Girls. So if I wanted to find a book that was similar to a book that I really, really enjoyed, I can just click here on title read-alikes, and then I find a list. So that is really a wonderful feature to find read-alikes. You can find title by author, and then if it's also by series. So here's a series read-alike. This is just wonderful because I know that it happens for all of us that we have read an author or a title or a whole series and we're done with it and we think, I really wish I could read something that's just like that because it was so great. And this is a way that you can find some of those read-alikes. Now, let's say that you do like historical fiction, but you didn't really see when we went back here to our different areas. Let's go back one more time. So when we saw some different time periods, but the reading about is ancient. It's not listed here. Well, you can always describe a book here in the search bar. You can search by keyword. We can also search by title, by author, and by series. So let's just do a keyword search on ancient Rome. And I could also just put in historical fiction. Okay, and click search. And so then I find a list. And right now, I am getting a list of books that are for adults, for teens, and for kids. So if I wanted to refine my list and just look at adult books, I could click that and then update my results. Okay. So then as we go through these, again, we see the title, the author, a little sentence or two about what the book's about. And then we also see the title read-alikes, author read-alikes, and series read-alikes. Let's say that this one sounded interesting to me, Imperium. So I can just click on that little folder, and it's going to go up in my folder. Let's see, I like this one too. I'm going to click on my folder. So when we go up to our folder, when we're all done with our session and we want to see what books we chose, we just click on the folder that I chose. And I can print that list out, I can email it, I can save it. So that's a really great way to keep track of the things that you are in, that you're interested in as you use NoveList. Okay. Now, sometimes, I'm just going to go back to my home screen. Sometimes somebody tells you about a book and you would like to know more about that book. So you can just type the title in here. I'm going to type in Mouse and the Motorcycle. It's actually coming up right here. So it's my first one, the Mouse and the Motorcycle. So I'm going to press search. So here is the book that I'm interested in. It's a children's book by Beverly Cleary. It was published in January of 1965. Gives us the illustrator, what ages it's for. It tells us that it's part of a series, the Ralph the Mouse series. It gives us a description, and it tells us a little bit about the genre, character, storyline, all of these different things. And then we also have the Lexile level here. We have the accelerated reader information. So we hear that it's MG means it's a middle grade book. And the reading level is about a 5.1. So if you need to know more about what these mean, you can always just click here on this. It tells us some information about the Lexiles. Or we can click on this and see what it says here about accelerated reader and what those abbreviations mean. So you don't need to remember that MG stands for middle grades. You can just go here and it's going to tell you. So that's how you find a particular title. All right, so we've talked about exploring genres, and we have talked about finding read-alikes, and we've also talked about finding a particular book. So the next thing that I want to go over is just finding a new kind of book. Maybe you want to explore a certain genre, but we can go down here to try our appeal mixer. And we can do this for adults. I can click here and do it for teens, for ages 9 to 12, or for ages 0 to 8. I'm just going to stay here with the adults right now. And then we can find something based upon what kind of a character we want to read about, what kind of pace we like, the storyline, the tone, the writing style. So right now I'm going to pick character. And I would like to read a book about a courageous character. And then I think that I'll choose pace. I would like to read a book that is fast-paced. And then let's see the storyline. What choices do we have there? Oh, so we have quite a few choices. I think that I will pick intricately plotted. So it's going to give me a list when I say find titles with courageous characters. It's going to have a fast pace, and it's going to have an intricate plot. And I'm going to click View All. So again, we have our list. And again, as we go through these, we could go ahead and click on our folder, put it in our folder. And then another thing that we can do from NoveList, which is wonderful, let's say that you think this is going to be wonderful, you really want to read The Crossing, and you wonder if the library owns it. So you can check the library catalog. And then just type in Crossing, and we know it's by Connolly. And there we see that the library does own it. We also have it as a sound recording. We also have it in large print. We have it as a playaway. So lots of different formats here. Okay, I'm going to click out of that. Okay, now I'm going to go back to home. The last thing that I wanted to talk to you about was finding by level or by reading level. So we're going to go to advanced search here. So let's say that your child likes fantasy, or they want to read about cats, or whatever they like. So let's say that they like fantasy. So we can type in fantasy, and we can say that we want to find that in any part of the text or as part of the title. What we are interested in, though, is the genre. So we found that. Now what we want to do is, let's say that your child is 7 years old or 8 years old. I'm going to pick that, ages 0 to 8. And then we can go down and pick the Lexile level. So if you know the Lexile level, you can pick that. You can also say that you want the interest level to be lower grades, middle grade, or upper grades. So we're interested in the lower grades. And I'm just going to make the Lexile level 520 to 820 right now. And then I click search. And then I get a list. So this is a really great way that you can look for books for your child, whether he or she is reading on grade level, is a more advanced reader, or possibly struggling a bit. So we've talked about 4 different ways that you can use NoveList. Now, I do want to say that there are lots and lots of things you can do with NoveList. And what I would encourage you to do is, as you're using this, just experiment, because there are so many great features to this resource, and it's really fun to use. It's really fun to use. So I encourage you just to play around with other things. We can look here, browse by appeal. We can, there's some links here for Reader's Advisory. There's some book club resources. All kinds of things are available through NoveList. So I know I've thrown a lot of information at you. Just explore. You're not going to go wrong. If you have questions about how to use this, please give us a call, 330-334-5761, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5, or you can email reference@wadsworthlibrary.com. And when the library is open, if you need any other help with it, just ask us, and we'll be happy to help you. So I hope that you're going to enjoy this great free resource that we have through the Wadsworth Library.